Hey, this is Meek from Visions of Atlantis, and you're watching That Metal Interview.
All night and day, you watch the fade in solitude. Before they break, I see you shake your solitude.
That Metal Interview.
Salutations from the state of Texas in the US of A, from the continent of North America, from the third planet from the sun, Earth. And we welcome all you thrashers and headbangers and rockers to your favorite podcast, Rock Metal Podcast. And your friend James welcomes you once more. Thank you for your support. For all you newcomers, you are very welcome, and don't forget to share, download, and subscribe, right? So anyways, we have one of the vocalists, one of the frontmen. Well, I shouldn't say frontman, because this band has a frontman and a front woman. I'm speaking of Visions of Atlantis, and of course the front woman is Clementine. But we have the male vocalist, Michele Guaitoli, who talks to us all the way from the country of Italy, and he's here to promote the band's newest album by the name of Pirates 2 Armada. Of course, it is the sequel to Pirates. And before we go on, we want to present to you, as I always do, I present the newest single and video for the current person I'm interviewing and chatting with. In this case, it's Meek, frontman for Visions of Atlantis, and this song is called Tonight I'm Alive. We'll be right back.
Your true heart knows differently.
12-track album, highly recommended on my part. Pirates 2, Armada, Napalm Records strikes again. That was Tonight I'm Alive, and you guys can stream it and download it. The album available on July 5th of 2024, and we have a conversation and a chat with Meek, the frontman for Visions of Atlantis, and also catch them on tour. Visit them on their socials and their website, and of course purchase and support the band through the label, of course, Napalm Records, and their socials again. Anyways, enough talking, and let's go to the interview and our chat with Meek of Visions of Atlantis. Enjoy. Okay, so very first question, I guess I ask everybody, where are you at? What part of the planet?
Right now, I'm in Italy. We just came back from Czech Republic, where we had a great second summer festival. It was like last weekend. Right now, it's a busy period for Visions of Atlantis. We are touring. Of course, there is the summer tour ongoing. We will be in Slovakia, we will be in Germany, we will be in Sweden, in Finland. But yeah, we are actually touring Europe. Then in September, we will have the big European tour that is coming up. And hopefully next year, we'll come back to the States. We just came back, we were there in April. So right now, I'm in Italy because this is my home country, but it's, drops of days that I stay here.
Nice. I'm in Texas, so I missed you guys the last time you guys were here earlier on, but I'll catch you next time for sure.
I'm sure we will. Like last time, I think we had only one show, but the time before we played 3 shows in Texas. So there is absolutely certainty that we will be back there.
Yes, for sure. So before we get into your new album, Pirates 2, Armada, we'll talk about that in a bit. Take us back to your first steps in the musical business, the music career, if you will, Meek.
Absolutely.
How did you first find out you could sing? Was it driving in a car? Were you a small boy? How did you know you could sing?
So I didn't know I could sing, but I remember that the guitar player on my very first band, he was used to play songs with the acoustic guitar with friends during the evening in his garage, actually. Like this is like a typical garage situation. And of course, as everyone, I knew songs and I liked to sing along, but I didn't even question to be a singer professionally back then. I didn't question myself. So he starts to play the song and I start to sing along together with him and other people. And when the song is over, he looks at me and he's like, "Are you a singer?" And I was like, "No, man, absolutely, I'm not." Because I have a band and I'm looking for a singer, and I think you sing great. And I was like, "If you say so." And he was like, "Would you feel like coming to a first rehearsal?" I said yes. And with that band, first I started to play pubs. Like when you are in the corner of the pub, bring your own PA, playing Iron Maiden, playing Judas Priest, playing Deep Purple, Whitesnake, all the classic covers that everyone does. Then we started to write our first songs, and we started to play the first festivals, and then we had the first tours, and then the first tours became European tours, and then from one thing the next one comes, and I find myself in Visions of Atlantis touring the world with like my own music. So it's a long story. I think it was 2004, 2003 when I started to sing at concerts. And yeah, quite some time has passed, 21 years now.
21 years. So what was the name of that band again?
The Overtures. That band was Overtures. Overtures, yeah. That's like my very, very first. We were playing progressive metal.
Yeah. So does that band still exist, or is that?
No. We split in 2015, 2016. This was when, at a certain point you realize that if you want to do it professionally, you have to be devoted and dedicated. And it requires a fucking lot of time, man. Because when you are on the road, every show is 4 days away because you have to gather, you have to travel to that country, come back, and you have the day of the show. So it means that you cannot have a day job, or at least you cannot have an office job. You can have a remote, a smart working job, but you can stay in an office. And the drummer had a day job, the bass player had a day job. So when things started to roll properly, the days off from work were not enough to sustain, touring as it was meant to be, as it is meant to be for a professional band. So that band unfortunately couldn't go on. But we had our share of European tours and nice memories that we keep together. Mm-mm.
Yeah, some people don't know that sometimes you can have a day job, a 9-to-5 job, and also be in a touring band. Some people don't know that. Some people do both. Some bands do both. I've talked to some artists like yourself, and some of them still hold their jobs, and some don't, of course, because there's so much touring. And how about right now in Visions of Atlantis? Is there anybody that still holds a Walmart job or something?
Well, we, anyways, we work in the music business. So yes and no, meaning that yes, we have a secondary job, let's call it like this, or primary, depending on which point of view you wanna see it from. But at the same time, it's all related to the music business. So it's something that it's job that you can do while in a tour bus, while in a bathroom, while as long as you have an internet connection. If it's promoting shows, if it's working within the music business, it's all stuff that you can totally do from everywhere in the world. So yeah.
Yeah, you gotta survive, and there's been a lot of buzz on you guys lately, Visions of Atlantis. What do you think it is? Why is there so much buzz around the band last few years?
I think it's called stability, because if you think of it, and if you read the biography of the band, if not, anyone can do it on Wikipedia. There has been so many changes with lineup before, Clearly, the band was not stable. And I personally believe that without stability, when you start, changing the bass player, then you change the guitar player, then you change the singer, then you change to another singer, then you change, the guitar player, then the other guitar player comes in and leaves the band, and you have to find a new one. So when there is this chaos, you truly cannot find a way to connect with each other. So for as much as you can force the music to be released, what's lacking is an overall ideology that connects everyone. Then in 2018, when I joined the band, maybe it's because also I took it as a challenge to find, the reason to discover what was going on and what was the problem. But at the same time, and I'm not saying it's thanks to me, but it's because I was the missing element. I prefer to think of this in this way. We started to think as a whole and not as 5 different people doing a job together, and we developed everything. We developed friendship, we developed connection, we developed love towards each other. We stand each other for 60 to 80 shows per year now since 6 or 7 years. So you truly need to be in sync with your bandmates to stay together in the same tour bus, in the same room, in the same place for that many days per year. I see them way more than I see my family, and we truly love each other. We still get drunk together every now and then. We still have fun together. We still enjoy life together. We go on holiday together. Like last year, the guitar player Dushi, he came over to Italy, and we went on the beach together for a couple of days because we don't only play together, but we truly are friends. And this can be said with every band member. Herbert, the bass player, he got married last year, and we were all there at his marriage. It's not like, no, this guy, I cannot stand it, I'm not going to take part of his life. We were all the first to be there, Yeah. So there is real connection, and this reflects in music. Because when there is connection, there is emotion, and this emotion is brought to the music, and you can feel it as a listener. There is no way out of this. There is no project, no band that can work without real connection between the band members. It's impossible. You can fake it, but it's not going to last.
You can fake it all you want, but it's a family atmosphere. You have to get along, especially like you said, if you're stuck on the road for a month and a half in the US or so many dates in Europe, you're stuck somewhere in South America. this is your second family. And
Yeah, you can't get out of it. Yeah, of course. So when there is love, everything is fine, and when there is passion, and you share the same ideology, the same goals, the same way of thinking, and you fight for what you're doing, you dream together, then everything is easy. And I believe this is what happened in 2018. This started, and then the more we are together, the more we connect, and the better music comes out, because it's just natural, in my opinion.
So speaking of the band Visions of Atlantis, how did you get the gig? Was there audition? Did they just call you up and say, you know what? You're the man?
Digital auditions, yes. The old singer, the previous singer, sorry, it's not old, he's younger than me. The previous singer, he was like leaving because of his day job. Again, Vision of Atlantis reached the point in which they needed to be on the road for 40, 50, 60, now even 80 shows per year, which means that you have to count also the traveling days off from your day job. And he couldn't sustain this anymore, and he gave priority not to the band but to the day job, which is a respectable choice in my opinion. And it happened that my other band, Temperance, was meant to open for the tour that Visions of Atlantis would have had on the fall of 2018. And he was like, well, this guy, I kind of like his style. Maybe he could be the one that takes over. And he contacted me directly, and he asked me to record a couple tracks, which I did. I sent over, and 2 days later, the band was like, well, let's try to bring this live. So I auditioned officially, performing 4 shows live with them instead of the previous singer, opening for Camelot. It was a tour with Camelot, Leaf's Eyes, and Visions of Atlantis.
Nice.
And the gigs went amazingly. The gigs went really well, and we immediately connected as people, as human beings. And they were like, "Okay, let's try this out for the entire tour in fall," in which I double dutied with my band and Visions. And from that moment on, I was in the band.
Wow, very cool story there. Did you have any trouble?
Yeah, it's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It was like it's basically the dream of every singer from the underground, to get into a bigger band thanks to being discovered in this way. So it's a real story. It's not like I paid or I had a friendship with someone or else,
Did you have trouble adapting to the wardrobe, the pirate stuff, the hat and all that? Or were you pretty easy on it? You got it. You just put it on and let's go.
I mean, especially when it comes to the pirate thing, like this choice of dressing up as pirates is a big metaphor. Like we all need tales. When you watch a movie from Disney when you are a teenager, the message implants in your mind because there is a story behind it. When your father or your mother read a story to you before going to bed, this story will stay with you forever. Like storytelling, it's the most efficient and effective way to implant concept into people's minds. And this is messages that will stay with you forever. Now, it doesn't matter if you are 40 years old, 30 years old, 35, 25, stories are necessary. We still go to the cinema and we watch Marvel movies, and they are big stories, big metaphors in a different universe, but the concept, the struggle, the ideas that are there, they will stay with you forever. So if you read what we are doing in the right way, you will discover that yes, we dress up as pirates for a reason, because in this way we can truly detach people from the actual world, from reality. We can take you somewhere where you can free your mind from everything that happens in your daily life, and you can focus on dreaming or on the story that we are telling you. And if you read it in the right way, you will go home with a nice concept, with a nice metaphor, with an ideal that might help you on the next day in your real life doing something that you couldn't do before because something didn't click yet. So if you look at it in this way, then you understand that there is way more behind, behind our pirate clothes than just dressing up because it's cool to be a pirate, and that's it. So once this is understood, especially from the intern, I'm so happy of dressing up like this, and being Meek the pirate and not just Meek the singer.
Yeah, of course, it's an escape from reality for us fans and listeners and fanatics of Visions of Atlantis. It's an escape from reality, an escape from paying bills and true life and paying the car payment or whatever. And this is like a movie, like you say, and it's awesome. I mean, I've seen you guys on YouTube. I haven't seen you live yet, of course, as I said, but it is like a movie. And your music,
It is, yeah.
the whole wardrobe thing, it's awesome, badass. You guys are doing a great job. And for people that haven't seen you guys live, you guys should go check these guys out. Visions of Atlantis, an awesome show that I've seen on YouTube. So let's get to the new album, Meek, Pirates 2 Armada. How is the reception so far?
Yeah. For now, no. But we are, this is the moment in which we have so many interviews, so many, insiders that have been listening to the record, and they are dropping the professional feedback. And right now, like on our end, what we are told, which of course I hope it's sincere and I hope it's true, is that the overall feeling is that it's a more metal album, which I agree with. And it's a deeper album in terms of concepts, which I also agree with. To be fair, we've been flirting a bit too much with metal compared to my own tastes without going all in. And finally, with Pirates 2, we are showing more character than we did before. When you start, symphonic metal is delicate because symphonic metal needs to satisfy not only the standard metal listener, but also this listener who is really devoted to melodies and to, of course, the orchestral universe. So sometimes the orchestra overwhelms the metal, and this makes this bittersweet feeling for real metalheads, because they say, okay, but where are the guitars? Where is the bass? Where is the drum? In Pirates, we made a step forward, I believe, on this side compared to the previous record, because we started to have riffing and heavier guitars that kind of awoke this metal vibe that, in my opinion, was a bit less present in the previous records, in The Deep in the Dark and in Wonders. Then, with Pirates 2, we truly went in a direction that I personally prefer, raising the volume of the guitars, having this big chug on the bass and drums that are really hitting hard, revitalizing the metal core, the metal element of that, in my opinion, a metal band should have, still not stepping away from the symphonic, because each and every single song has such a massive cinematic metal vibe. So there is no, bending on the symphonic. It's not like symphonic metal people will be disappointed. On the contrary, they will find a heavier record. They will find a darker record that, in my opinion, has a big M, cap M on the word metal, but still is a symphonic metal album. So yeah, and this feedback is not only mine, but it's a summarization of what we also has as a feedback from all the insiders until now. And I'm curious about your opinion.
Yeah, I heard it. It's badass. I got to hear it from the label, and it's just awesome job. It's Visions of Atlantis. And another question of mine, since you asked me that question, how do you guys maintain the sound of Visions and make sure it doesn't sound like another band? Or did you guys having trouble there? I mean, you know what? Let's erase this part because it sounds like it does. That's not us,
Yeah, that's a really good question, and this is a priority to us. This is truly a priority. I have to say that we are luckier than others because this dualism between Clementine and I, as singers, is something that makes us kind of unique in a way. Because normally what symphonic metal bands do, if you think of Epica, just to mention a big symphonic metal name, is to alternate growling and clean vocals. And this is obviously something that makes the male vocal a bit less relevant compared to what's going on in Visions of Atlantis. Not because everyone can growl, but because it's less there is less identification in growling compared to clean vocals. You know, when you hear the color of a specific clean singer, if the singer is peculiar, you immediately say, okay, this is, I don't know, Steven Tyler, this is Freddie Mercury, this is, you know, Taylor Swift, whoever you wanna mention. But when it comes to growling, you sometimes have to ask, who is this? Because of course you don't hear the color, the timbre of the vocals, you know. So we are luckier because having two singers, you have double the chance to identify that this is the male or the female singer. And this is a big help in terms of making Visions of Atlantis sound unique. But at the same time, I have to say that going all in with the orchestras and the cinematic atmosphere, this is also something that right now is an open door for us, for the simple reason that not many bands are doing this anymore. If you think of it, Nightwish, they are kind of detaching from symphonic metal. Within Temptation are not a symphonic metal band anymore, because they are super modern, which is a respectful choice. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying that, what they did back then, with Stand My Ground and company, this is stuff that it's not there anymore. So who is doing real symphonic metal nowadays? There are some newcomers. There is a young band called Elbelon from Germany. They do amazing symphonic metal. But out of this, except for them, it's hard for me to think of just symphonic metal bands that are doing real symphonic metal with a female and a male singer. So we want to stick to this. We believe we can be, the ones carrying the shield of symphonic metal, even if it's into our pirate universe. And if we stick to this, we probably will, we probably will be the ones who can truly carry the old symphonic metal into the fresh and current sound.
The future of symphonic metal.
I hope so.
Of course, you guys are at the forefront. Of course, you and Clementine are awesome. A front woman, front man, awesome job right there. So you guys are the forefront in the future of symphonic metal for sure. Now that you mentioned some bands moving or straying away from symphonic stuff, what's going on there? What do you think? Why are they changing? Why the change?
Well, when it comes to Nightwish, I truly believe that Thomas writes the music that he loves. He is a visionary. It's not always easy to deal with your fan base, because the fan base have expectations. But if you are a visionary, you don't care. You write music for the pleasure of writing music. I don't know if you follow cinema, but I immediately think of David Lynch. The director David Lynch, the director of Twin Peaks, Mulholland Drives.
Oh yeah.
He is a visionary. He doesn't do cinema in the conventional way. He does cinema in the way he wants, and he is a true artist. Think of Picasso. If you think of art, the moment in which he started to paint squares, people would have thought, what the fuck is this guy doing? But now he wrote history, And Thomas is basically doing the same with Nightwish. He is writing the music he wants in the way he wants. And this is just fantastic in my opinion. But of course, symphonic metal fans might be disappointed because it's far from what he was doing with Wishmaster. Should he care? My answer is no. It's great that he is doing what he wants. But at the same time, those who are passionate about symphonic metal, they want to hear symphonic metal. And personally, my songwriting is devoted to the I wouldn't say standards, but to the sounds, to the soundscapes of symphonic metal. And if I can find a way to bring freshness and something new in the symphonic metal universe, I'm happy of doing it. And I'm even happier when there is no competition. No, of course, this is a joke, but you see what I mean. I feel like my field is kind of free right now. So I have freedom, and at the same time, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be one of those who still write in that style, because this is something that is missing, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great album. You guys are doing great, maintaining the symphonic metal flag and style, if you will. You guys are doing awesome. So as far as the record, Meek, Did everybody pitch in ideas for this stuff, or maybe some of you guys didn't want to take part in that and just went in there and recorded whatever the rest wrote?
So ideas, yes. Basically, everyone took his part in the arrangement of its own, at least, instrument. But in general, as in every band, there is like one person. In this case, it is me who puts down the skeleton of the music in terms of melodies, in terms of composition, and then from that skeleton we have everyone arranging. Like Clemmy, I write the lines, the vocal lines, thinking of Clementine's voice so that she can truly shine in what she's doing. But if something doesn't work, she comes in and she says, okay, this doesn't, let's try an alternative, and she drops her ideas. And there are parts of the record that are some melodies that are actually written by her completely. Like she completely changed my original idea and put in what she feels more comfortable in. And of course, there is communication in this. It's not like there is, like no goes. It's always important to have everyone feeling comfortable and feeling reflected in what we write. Same goes for the drums. In my original ideas, I put down a drum pattern, but then maybe Thomas says, this doesn't work for me, we should go this other way, and we change it. Same with the solos, same with the bass. Everyone has its own saying to make things work in their universe. But when it comes to the main idea, the main songwriting, there is a songwriter. As much as Thomas is the songwriter for Nightwish, or Martin is the songwriter for Delane, to give other examples, or Thomas Youngblood is the songwriter for Camelot, and so on. Like we have Mick as the main songwriter, and then everyone puts its own or her own in case of Clemmy.
Well, very cool. So here's the typical question: which is your favorite track here on this album?
Nice. I'm a bit torn between Tonight I'm Alive and The Dead of the Sea. Tonight I'm Alive, I think this is the song that is the catchiest in the record. It's the one that I hope and I believe that will characterize the record. People will think of Pirates 2 Armada with that song. That's the record with Tonight I'm Alive. This is my call here. Maybe it won't, but I truly believe that this is the song that brings the most freshness, the most unicity, and it's the twist of the record that people will remember about. At the same time, I'm a big fan of The Dead of the Sea, but this is maybe personal because it's a masterpiece of symphonic metal, and it's one of the songs in which I could truly express myself as a songwriter in the most complex and in the most open way, without boundaries, without, it has to be 3 minutes and a half because it's single, without, it has to be within this, standards of structure. I truly could write freely, and it reflects my idea of symphonic metal the best. So, yeah.
On this upcoming European tour, Meek, how many new tracks are you guys planning to squeeze in the set list? Because sometimes you can't, delete some songs from the set list from your past tours, and you can't just play the whole record either. So how many new songs can you squeeze in there in this tour?
Of course. I believe that 6 or 7 songs will be there from this record. The record is 12. Actually, it's 11 because it's 11 plus the intro. But the intro will be probably part of the show, so songs number 1 and 2 will be there. I believe that 6 or 7 songs will surely make it. We are already playing 3, which are Monsters, Tonight I'm Alive, and Armada, of course. I'm sure that we will play the intro and Land of the Free. I'm sure that we'll play Magic of the Night. And I'm sure that we play Hellfire. Then maybe one of the masterpieces, because there are 2 songs that are above 7 minutes, and it could be cool to bring them live. Of course, it's more demanding in terms of everything, production, impact, of course, in musicianship also, because it's a long song with a lot of stuff to remember. But it could be great to take at least one of these 2 live to, change the atmosphere. Maybe one of the ballads. because also the ballads, in my opinion, are a step above the previous ballads that we wrote. So yeah, let's see. But of course, there are songs that we cannot do, that we cannot stop playing. We cannot stop playing Melancholy Angel. We cannot stop playing Clocks. We cannot stop playing, Legion of the Sea and Master the Hurricane. We cannot stop playing Heroes of the Dawn, which is, the most listened song on Spotify, at least until now. There are some, important singles that we will have to play forever, probably. So, but we have room. Until now, we have room. So we will see.
The hits, quote unquote, you have to. It's kind of like Kiss. They can't go out without Rock and Roll Night or the hits. That's. I guess they're stuck with you forever, right?
Yeah. Detroit Rock City, and of course.
Yeah, Rock City. Yeah. So
it's like going to an Iron Maiden show and not listening to the Trooper. You just cannot do it.
Right. So you said you're already playing a couple of these songs live.
Three of them. Yes, Monsters to Name Alive, and Armada. And actually, in the very last show, we also played Hellfire because we wanted to test it. It's important for us, to test the field and see what's the reaction of people, because sometimes you have ideas and they just suck, and you have to be critic towards yourself and understanding towards yourself, and you have to say, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't work, it's pointless to push it. You can't push a square into a circle.
Right, exactly. So my question is, when you're in the studio listening to new music, your new record, the mix and the master is finished, and you put it in your car or at your home or whatever. That's one way of listening to it, a new song. How did it feel when you guys first rehearsed it as a band, the new song? How did that feel when you heard it with the power amplifiers loud and the loud drums and the PA and everything? How was that feeling?
To be honest, it's really, really, really refreshing. Especially in our case, after having toured since 2022, playing the songs from Pirates and the previous songs, of course, there are songs like Heroes of the Dawn or The Deep in the Dark. It's 6 or 7 years that we play these songs constantly. So, of course, there is still attachment. Of course, there is still emotion, because it's not like the message changes. But having something new, something fresh, something completely different that vibes and resonates, this loudness within your body, it truly is beautiful, because it feels like the accomplishment of the sacrifices of years before, of months or years, depending on the song, before you finally reached that specific moment in which you finally played for real. But there is so much work, and you can't play this song until that moment. At the very beginning, going back to my very first band, when you wrote the song, you were playing it live immediately, because at first you played the new song and then you recorded them. But then you start entering the music business, and this reverses. First you write the song, and only then you can play it live. So for a musician that has grown up playing the songs and composing them in a rehearsal room, switching is not that easy, because you are so looking forward to release and play your music that it's difficult to take, and finally you play it live. It's so relieving, man. It's so beautiful.
Very, very cool. Wow. As far as Temperance, give us an update on that. I think you said that's done for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. With Temperance, so we have this new album called Hermitage, The Room of Ice Part 2, that has been released last year. We toured in February with it. So, and now we are coming to the United States for the Pro Power Festival in September. So there is stuff ongoing. But during the tour, we recorded a live album, and we are really looking forward to find the perfect moment to release it. I believe that as soon as we will have a new European tour planned, we will plan the release of the live album together with it. So there is quite some stuff ongoing with Temperance Tour too. But yeah, right now we are looking into touring options to define the schedule of the band. There are a couple summer festivals too, one in Spain, one in Italy, one in Germany, if I'm correct. Oh no, in Czech Republic. In Czech Republic, it's gonna be Rock Castle, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure that new live shows will happen, and we can finally drop the live album too.
Awesome. You're just super busy. Any other projects that you have? Any other bands?
I am part. I wouldn't say it's a band. I'm part of ERA, this French big production that was new age music written in the 90s that is now brought on stage for the first time in 2018. Then we toured again in 2019. Then the pandemic came in, and since the pandemic, we are waiting to go back live, and it's going to happen in February 2022. This is completely different genre, completely different style, and it's going to be mostly France, with some shows in Switzerland and in Belgium, if I'm right. This is a really country-specific project, but I cannot call it a band, to be honest, because it's not like we write songs together. It's not like we compose. We see each other. It's completely different from having a band. But I'm pretty happy of being in that reality because it's a completely different environment from the metal environment, and sometimes it just feels good to have to breathe a different air.
Before we let you go, can you give us an insight on the band as far as the future plans of the band? What's next year for the band?
Absolutely. Well, that's pretty easy because everything is already out. We have this summer tour that is ongoing. Then we have the big Armada tour. It's going to be 33 shows throughout Europe, and with some hopes for everything to be happening as in our plans, I'm sure that we will come back to America next year in the first quarter as headlining act to promote Armada also in the United States, because what happened is that we toured in the last months with Corpiclani in America, but of course we were only playing a couple songs from the new record and Armada was not out. Now we are ready to headline, I believe, and we are looking into options for making it happen. I'm confident this is going to happen. Right now nothing is confirmed, but yeah, keep following us for updates. I'm sure it will happen.
Awesome. So thank you for your time, and people listening, pre-order Pirates 2 Armada. You guys can pre-order it now, or it drops July 5th, and stream it then, download it, and support the band on the road. And thank you, Meek. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you sometime in Texas soon.
You're more than welcome. We see each other over there. Ciao, ciao, man.
Pirates 2 Armada, available July 5th, 2024, Napalm Records, and we thank Meek of Visions of Atlantis once more. Thank you for sharing your stories of your musical career so far, and a great record that I highly recommend for you guys, especially if you are into symphonic power metal or symphonic metal, whatever you want to call it. A true rendition of this genre for sure. So thank you guys for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, share, ring the bell, download, and support these guys on the road as they're about to hit the road, and they're probably on the road now as we speak. It depends when you are listening to this episode of That Metal Interview. And now that we're talking about the podcast, make sure and find us on social media at That Metal Interview, and we truly appreciate your presence and your support, guys and girls. So anyways, don't forget to keep it metal.